Hey everybody, so I'm back with another filler review. I'm going to continue with the Dragonlance reviews because I promised you guys I would try to get as many of those ones out as I possibly could because I know a lot of you have been wanting to hear more about those. So for this review, I'm going to be reviewing the third and final book in the original trilogy for Dragonlance, which is called Dragons of Spring Dawning. And again, these are by, this book is by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman. There are different authors that do different books in the series, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Um, this definitely, as you could tell, is very well worn to the point where my back cover actually came off and I have to reattach it. It's right here. Um, this book is old. um, I do believe this is one of the original covers for the series, if I remember correctly. I know the other ones were newer ones, but I think this is the original cover for the book. But yeah, it's been a long time since I read it, just like the other ones, so I'm going to skip going really deep into the plot. I'll tell you what's on the back and stuff like that, but I'm not really going to go into the plot too much. So again, like I did with the last video, I will link you to the Wikipedia page that goes more into the plot if you guys want to read about it for yourself, because I don't want to give anything away from the other books, because as I have said this before, they intertwine with the original three a lot. So, but one thing I did notice before I start this that I did not realize is I did not tell you guys for the last book how long it took me to read it. It was really late, I was really tired, and I completely forgot about that. So I will give you almost all of the books in the series so far have taken me roughly about 2 to 3 days, so I'm going to say 2 to 3 days. Um, except for this one. This one only took me about a day. Um, so this one was the exception. But I will go ahead and read you the back, and then we'll jump into the rest. So this one says, Dragons, creatures of legend, stories told to children. But now dragons have returned to Krynn. The darkness of war and destruction engulfs the land. Hope dawns with the coming of spring. Armed at last with the Dragonlances, the heroes lead the people in the final desperate battle against the dragons. Knights and barbarian, warrior and half-elf, dwarf and kender, and dark-souled mage, they must overcome their own doubts and resolve their own conflicts before they can hope to defeat Takhisis, the Queen of Darkness. So that's what this book is about. This one is 379 pages, and again, your font is small, as it is with all of the other books. And again, it is descriptive, as it is in all of the other books. And the other thing they did, which is the same in all of the books, is they give you the map of the world that they're in inside, and they also do the neat little drawings at the beginning of a chapter, which I really like. But yeah. So now onto my thoughts of the book itself. Again, like I said, this one took me about a day um, to read. I was able to squeeze it in a whole day. It took me, well, not a whole day, but I was able to squeeze it in and read all of it in one day. Very, very, very good book. Um, Absolutely loved it. The ending was okay. It did make me want to read more of the series, which is a good thing. But the ending was just kind of okay for me. I do remember that. And I also do remember that out of the original three books, the second one was my favorite of the original three. Um, for the most part, this book I really, really liked. There was a couple of parts in it that I didn't really care for, but for the most part, I do remember that I really, really, really liked this book. Um, definitely, 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 definitely recommend it. You have to be patient when reading the series. As I've said before, these books are very descriptive. Um, so you do have to be kind of patient when reading the series. But as I said, it's needed. So, but yeah, basically all in all, the book really, really, really good. I can't stress that enough. I absolutely love the series, and from this book for the next review, I'll just be going in the order that I read them in, which is really in kind of a weird order because I didn't really read them in order. after this book, but it's okay. But they do intertwine with each other a lot. When I do get to a book in the series that I've read recently, I'll go into the plot and stuff more then. But because I read a lot of these books before I even started doing a lot of reviews and stuff for my channel, that's why I'm not really going into the plot, because I don't really remember. It's been quite a while since I read this. But I will tell you, my fiance, who he likes to read, he just doesn't get to read very often. This is a series that he goes back to over and over and over. Is these original three books. He goes back to them over and over and over again. This book in particular, I believe he has read like 10 times in the past like 2 years. He absolutely loves the original three. We both so far are enjoying the other ones as well. We are both actually on the same book in the other ones, but neither one of us have started it yet. But I'll get to that later. But yeah, the original three books, the original trilogy, I know he absolutely loves, and that's coming from somebody who doesn't read nearly as much as I do. So that if that gives you guys any indication on how good the series is, I'm just saying. But yeah, definitely love the series. Definitely recommend it. This is the last book in the original trilogy of the Dragonlance series. This is just amazing. I can't say enough about it. But that's pretty much it. That's all I really have to say. The only other thing that I can think of that I would point out is if you are reading the series and you're not on this one yet, um, this book really defines like all of the characters for you, puts them all into perspective for you. You understand them a lot more, and everything starts falling into place and makes a lot more sense um, with what some of the characters are thinking and things like that. As I said in the last book um, that I reviewed made me fall in love with the character of Raceland. He's the magic user of the group. This book, I fell in love with him even more. When he started to reveal and actually go through with all these plans that he had been thinking of, that the other companions didn't really know about, I fell in love with him even more. I will tell you that right now. He's still, my favorite character. He's still my favorite character even in the other books. I absolutely love him because of the first three books. I absolutely love him. So, yeah. The next book in this series that I will be reviewing is called The Soul Forge, and it is part of another set of chronicles that intertwines with the original three. And I will tell you more about that when I actually review it. But definitely recommend, at least if you're going to try the Dragonlance books, if you've never read them before, at least try this first trilogy before you make your decisions on the series. The original trilogy is so good, and I absolutely love it. I was never much into dragons and dwarves and things like that. Um, I mean, I was into dragons, but not so much into like dwarves and elves and things like that because I always automatically thought Lord of the Rings. And I've read the Lord of the Rings books and I didn't really like them, so I was afraid that it would be similar to that. But I'm telling you guys what, whether you're a Lord of the Rings fan or not, it doesn't even matter. But these books are so good, so amazing, so worth the read, and I hope you guys are willing to check them out. Again, I'll link you below for a plot on Wikipedia about this particular book if you're interested in reading more about it, because I didn't really go into plot. And other than that, um, that's about it for my review. So, as always, go ahead and comment if you have anything to say, if you've read the books or going to read the books or anything like that. Any questions, comment below. I will also link you to my Goodreads page. You guys can friend me on Goodreads, see what I'm reading, and I sort of kind of write reviews on Goodreads, but I don't really do it very often. I mostly just update what I'm reading and things like that, how far along in the books I am, things like that. But as far as like a new book that I'm reading, I'm still reading Dead as a Doornail. I am about halfway through it, a little over halfway through it. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. Um, Honestly, I read this first half um, in about 2 hours, and then I took a break and I just haven't picked it back up since. So definitely going to finish this soon, and I'll get you guys a review out of this as well. um, when I finish it. So that's about it for now, and I will talk to you guys later. All right, bye.